Okay, this is part 2 of our intro to Plan A in problem 13 in Heizer and Render. So in this video, we're going to really quickly look at how you calculate the stockout and the hire and the layoff. We're actually just going to calculate the hire, not the layoff. I'm going to leave the layoff to you. So in the stockout, I'm looking at the demand, and I want to know there will be a stockout if demand exceeds the combination of production and beginning inventory for a particular month. So for instance, in March, demand exceeds production, but we also have beginning inventory, which just exactly offsets it, so we're okay there. But in May, notice that demand exceeds production plus inventory, so there we would have a stockout. So that's going to be an if statement. So I'm going to look at equals if, and then my test is going to be demand minus production minus beginning inventory. If I can actually say if there. So if B3 minus C3 minus D3 is greater than or equal to 0, then insert B3 minus C3 minus D3. If not, put 0. And when we copy that to all of the cells, indeed it gives us a correct answer for May and for all the others. So good, we've calculated stockouts. Now let's go to hires. And in hire, I'm only looking at the production column. I'm only looking at column C. And if the production level stays the same, then we have neither a hire nor a layoff. So in January, we went from 1,600 in December to 1,600 in January. No hire, no layoff. But in February, we decreased. February is less than January by 200, so we had a 200 layoff. And in March, we had a hire of 200. So we started off at 1,400 and we went to 1,600, so we hired 200. These are actually 200 pins worth of labor. It's not actually 200 people or even 200 hours. It's 200 production units worth of labor. So this is another if statement. So equals if, and then the logical test is C3 minus C2 is greater than or equal to 0. Else, just if it's true, put C3 minus C2. If it's not true, put a 0. And let's see, does that work for us? Okay, it shows the 200 Yes, it shows that in March it shows a hire of 200. In April it shows a hire of 200, which is true. We didn't hire anybody here, 0. Hired 400 here, that's 0. And we didn't hire anybody here, so that's correct. Now, the layoff is a similar if statement, but actually it'd be reversed. So I want you to create an if statement that'll give you the correct layoff. So for instance, it should calculate that in February you'll lay off 200. That's not the only layoff, but you need to be looking for that. All right, thanks.